Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Jeanette and I've never done a video like this before, talking to the camera. It's kind of weird, but this topic has been on my heart for a really long time. I wanted to share it like a long time ago, but I just never felt the time was right. But anyway, today I want to be talking about heartache and dealing with a breakup. I am not a professional by any means, but this is just me sharing all my tips and imparting my wisdom that I've learned through my own experiences. So it's going to be a bit all over the place because I'm just trying to chit chat, and I've got a few notes on my phone that I just want to like trigger topics as I go along. But anyway, the first one, I know when you're going through a breakup, it's the most difficult time ever. You honestly feel like you're not going to get through it. There's days where you don't want to get out of bed. You literally want the day to go by quicker so you can be asleep, so that there's less time to be present and feel the pain. But I just want to really encourage you guys that it does get better. I know you probably don't feel like it right now. You're probably in your room thinking, no, I can't live without him or her, if you're a guy. But it really does get better. But one of my first piece of advice is to really trust that the breakup was for the better. I think the sooner you acknowledge that the two of you weren't good together, and the sooner that you acknowledge that it's over, and that's the quicker you start to really start healing. I think in early stages you should not be contacting your ex. Do not text them, do not stalk them on social media. I know it's tempting, but you need to block them. Block them, make sure all your close friends don't talk about that person for at least a good couple of months, because I don't think it does any of you guys any good. Like, there's no need for you to keep up to date with how he's doing. Like, why? So what if he's happy? That's good, but you need to focus. This is a time for you to heal, and you need to make sure you are so protective of your mind and your healing process. That goes for everyone around you. And I think when you really have a good support system, it's a natural thing. They kind of know. I think when you have good friends around you won't be the ones to be like, oh, did you see so-and-so? He's doing this, or did you see that picture he posted? No, your true friends really know that bringing your ex-partner up is hurtful. So I think they naturally know that they shouldn't be bringing it up. But of course, some people don't know. Maybe they haven't gone through a breakup and they don't know how sensitive and touchy-feely it gets. So maybe just let them know, you know what, I'm really working on my healing, and I would really appreciate it if you don't mention him or her. Another phase when you've just gone through a breakup is to start feeling like you made a big mistake. And that's usually, well, I've never been broken up with. I was the one breaking up. How do I describe it? But even as a person, even when it was in your hands, when you were the one doing the breaking up, you still replay. You get moments when you get emotional and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have broken up with the person, can't live without the person. Girl, bye. That's when you need your closest friends, because your emotions are so deceitful. Trust me. Do not listen to your heart when your emotions, when you're so like feeling low, because your emotions will make you replay a relationship that didn't exist, because it will start making you think of filtering all the reality of what the relationship was. You'll start exaggerating the good times and really forgetting what it was on a day-to-day basis being in that relationship, especially when it's toxic. And that's when, once again, I think you really need good friends. I think throughout this video I'm going to keep talking about friends, because your friends, true friends and family, don't have an agenda. They don't want to hurt you. So of course they want to see you happy, but at the same time, your friends and your family weren't in the relationship with you, so they don't have the emotions that go with it. So they're very clear-minded when they're giving you advice. So when they are telling you, no, this relationship was not good for A, B, and C, and D, you need to listen to your friends and family. And a lot of the time, when your friends and family tell you the truth, in that moment, you're so annoyed with them. You get defensive to the point when you don't even want to talk to them for advice anymore. You go to the people that you know will tell you what will tell you all the things that you want to hear. They're like, oh yeah, he wasn't so bad. Oh yeah, maybe you should. No, those aren't your friends. You need to stick with your real friends and family, because they'll tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Okay, I don't know what else to say. And yeah, guys, don't. And there's another lie that starts playing up in your head, that you feel like that you'll never love again, you'll never love someone again. I know how you feel, guys, and I'm not trying to be down on it, acting like it's dramatic, because I'm the most dramatic person on earth. I'm that girl who like, I'm never gonna love again, I've just let go of the love of my life. Girl, bye. You are young. Most of you guys are young, but even if you're older, if you are in a toxic relationship that was not good for you, there's nothing good about going back to that scenario. There's nothing good about it. The only reason I recommend getting back together, and if you feel like you should try it out again with that relationship, is if there's a drastic change. If there was a drastic change in one of the decisions that made you want to break up with the person in the first place, if that makes sense. So for example, if a person wasn't supportive, or your partner wasn't supportive of your career goals, and that was a big reason why you broke up, because you just never felt like you could be fully yourself. Just because you've broken up with a person now and you're feeling all emotional and you feel like you miss them, blah 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 blah, and you want to get back together, if the person's mindset is still the same, if they still feel the very same about your career, if they're still not supportive, there's no difference in the there's nothing that's gonna be different about the second time round, you know? The only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get burned twice, you're gonna hurt yourself twice, and the joke is on you. It's not worth it. Like, heartache is not worth it. It's not a thing to play with. And also, one thing I wanted to say, for me personally, I don't date just for fun. I don't believe that with my beliefs. I date with a purpose. If I'm with a person, I'm dating the person because I'm hoping it's going to lead to marriage, you know? And so another thing that really helped me in my breakup process was to really think, is this the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? And I'm not talking on a superficial level. I'm talking about deep red flags, things that can really affect your day-to-day life. Because when you get married and when you have a lifelong partner, the weekend dates, the meeting on the text here and there, meeting each other when you're in your best mood, you're all on your best behavior, that's not the true reality of a relationship, especially when you're married. When you're married, it's 24/7. There's no escaping. When you're mad at that person, there's no, I'm not going to talk to you, because you share the same room with the person. Especially when you have kids, you can't be acting crazy in front of your kids and stuff like that. So something that really helped me whenever I was going back and forth was really to be honest with myself. Is this the person I can live with? When the emotions and the butterflies are gone, because those butterflies aren't going to last forever, trust me. When those emotions and those butterflies are gone, the truth behind the reality of the person you're with, it's going to be so much more evident, and it's going to be more exposed, because I feel like your emotions are like a filter. They filter out all the blemishes. But when that's gone, and it will go, because it's not human beings, those emotional feelings don't last forever. Yes, love lasts forever, but love isn't necessarily those butterflies that you feel. So when those butterflies are gone, are you willing, is this the type of person you want to spend the rest of your life with? Okay, cool. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is really acknowledging your feelings. Don't pretend you're okay, especially when you've just broken up. Don't go around pretending to be Superman or Superwoman, because you're a human being. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel like you don't want to get out of bed today. It's okay to want to really cry for the entire day and be under your sheets. It's okay to feel that way. But the only thing is, you have to really make a decision, like deny those feelings. It's so tempting to just spend 3 months in a row and let your whole life collapse besides you, like not pay attention in university, slacking at work, cutting out all your friends who are your friends and family, who are your actual support system. They're going to help to get you through it. It's not okay to really give into those feelings. So it's does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. So it's okay to feel that way, but it's not okay to really give into those emotions and just let yourself fall apart. You have to be active about really doing things. Don't stay home all the time. I promise you, there's nothing more depressing than being in your room, 4 walls and your blankets. You will go crazy. I can be on that topic forever, but just force yourself to go out. Like, Remember who you were before you were in the relationship. What were your hobbies? Did you like to dance? Did you like writing? Did you like singing? Did you, were you a sporty person? Did you like spending time with maybe your mom, your grandmother? Just remember who you were before the relationship, because I know it's really easy to believe that you didn't exist. The person who you were before the relationship doesn't exist, but it's not true. You're still a person. You're still a person apart from having that relationship. But I think I've kind of gone off on a tangent. What I was trying to say is, you need to be honest with yourself and honest with a few group of people. Like, it doesn't have to be everyone, but even if it's just one friend or your mom or one family member who you can be honest and raw with, because when you pretend that everything is okay, it just makes the healing process so much longer. I know people who've broken up for like 2 years and only now they're going through the motions. I'm like, dude, you broke up 2 years ago. Why are you still feeling this way? And honestly, I've seen it, because I understand people want to put on a front and pretend, yeah, I'm fine, I can do better without him or her, whatever. And no, you need to accept that it was hurtful and really feel those feelings, because it's part of the healing. Cry if you need to. Like, I remember some of my breakups, I'd be like in Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's is like a big shopping place in London or the UK. But anyway, I'd be in the middle of the grocery store, like randomly in the middle of the day, and maybe a song will play and I'll just start crying in the middle of the aisle. I was crazy. I mean, I would recommend giving yourself like a time frame. Like for me, I told myself I'm giving myself 3 months to really go through the motions. And I'm not saying after those 3 months I became a robot all of a sudden and started pretending I didn't feel any sort of way, but it's more like those 3 months I allowed myself to be crazy, like to cry in the middle of work, to cry in the grocery store, because it's healing. It's really healing, and acknowledge like that it's over, but you're gonna move on. And then after 3 months, like, hey honey, I'm fabulous, I'm back to my old self, you know. And it doesn't mean that, I think another thing that I learned is that it's just because you miss someone, it doesn't mean you want that relationship again. Because there were times where I can really be missing someone. I'm like, I really miss this person right now, but I need to use my brain. I'm like, yes, I miss this person, those are my emotions, but it doesn't mean that this person is good for me. Especially in toxic relationships. I'm going to do another, well, let me know if you want me to do a topic on how to know you should break up or you shouldn't break up. But this is more, all of this, by the way, is talking about when breaking up was a good decision. Well, this video is kind of it's a mashup between knowing you should break up with a person and dealing with the breakup. So I might be all over the place, but so many things are coming to my head as I'm speaking. Another thing that really helped me when I was deciding to break up with this person was, you really shouldn't have to rip yourself apart in order to make someone else happy. I'm not talking about times where, of course, there's compromise and there's sacrifice in a relationship, and I'm talking about healthy compromise. Compromise isn't a one-sided thing. You shouldn't have to give up your entire existence, give up things that you've wanted to do your entire life, like before you met this person. Give up your dreams, give up your aspirations, give up things that make you happy and things that aren't necessarily harmful. I mean, you can get a partner who wants you to give up things that are harmful, like bad addictions, bad friends who are really toxic. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about things that are healthy desires. You shouldn't have to rip yourself apart just to make sure this person is happy, because that's not fair. That is not how a relationship works. That's one-sided. That is not true love. True love does not demand its own way. Hey, Bible scripture up in there. You just need to be honest with yourself. Do you know what really helped me? I know it might sound a bit weird, but I used to write lists. I'm big into lists, like writing pros and cons, what was good about the relationship and what was bad about the relationship. And when you write down this list, whether you're deciding to break up with the person, but even when you've broken up with that person, it's good to write down a list or have a list to keep reflecting on, to show you the reality of what the relationship was, because it's so easy for you to be like, it was so amazing, when in reality it wasn't. I used to write up a list of all the good things, all the positive things about the relationship. And be honest, even if you're feeling mad or upset, be honest. Don't pretend there wasn't any good, because I'm sure there was good for you to have dated this person in the first place. But I would write up a list of all the good things about the relationship, the good characteristics about the person, the positive side they brought up, they brought in me, and all of that, etc. And then I also do a list on all the negatives, and you need to write down every single negative thing. And I feel like whenever I looked at that list, like when you look at how overpowering that negative list is compared to the good, it really helps you get things in perspective, because your brain, it's so easy for you to just focus on one or two things that are good about the relationship, which are things actually that should be expected, things that aren't out of the ordinary, like, oh, he's this, things that should be like a minimum, a bare minimum, you know. But anyway, during the breakup process, whenever I'd start doubting myself, I'd go back to that list and read that list. I'm like, no, this is the reality of it, you know. Yeah, that really helps you to gain perspective. I know it's so easy for you when you've broken up with the person, and then, okay, fine, you've gone through the list, you see the pros and the cons, and you acknowledge that these things were really red flags that were necessary. The breakup was necessary. When you've acknowledged that, another temptation is for your brain to kind of tell you that he's going to get better. I'm just going to wait for him. I know he's not ready now, but I'm going to give myself a year, and I know he's going to get better. That is the worst advice to yourself ever. Like, even, it's not to say the person won't change and they won't get better. That's fine, but that's for them to do in their own time. But you can't live your life in a standstill waiting for someone to change. You can't change anyone who doesn't want to change, let alone even sees the need for them to change. That's the worst situation to be in. And I used to always hear people say, oh, you can't change a person, but I always used to think it had to do with, like, you know, you have a guy who's a player who's always cheating, and they'll be like, well, I'll change him, I'll make him a good boy. I'm not talking about that. When I realized the meaning of that statement, it was even down to things, character things that are real problems. Like, none of us are perfect. I'm not here saying I'm perfect, I don't need to change anything. I know I'm far from perfect, I need to change a lot of things. But I think when someone has a real character problem that they're not even seeing the need to change or even acknowledging, you can't change that person. That person needs to change in their own time. And while they're changing, if they ever do change, you need to live your life. You can't be waiting, hoping this person's going to get better and then you guys are going to get back together. You're wasting your time. You just need to trust God, trust destiny, whatever you want to call it. But you need to trust that what's meant for you will be for you. No matter if you've broken up with this person and they're a disaster, you can go to a completely different end of the world, be in a completely different relationship, blah blah blah. But if you are meant to be with that person, somehow you guys are gonna end up back together. There's no need for you to sit there and try scheme and be like, okay, I know he's gonna be here, I'm gonna try. Girl, bye. There are some people that are meant to be in your life for a season, and that's okay. Don't hold on to seasonal situations, because it can actually alter lifetime situations. What I mean by that is, it's not to say that maybe the relationship was good, and then sometimes it was a good relationship, but it was only for a season, and you grow apart. Sometimes you don't grow apart, you just really open up your eyes and you see that you guys are completely different people and you're not on the same page. And that's fine, it's fine. It doesn't mean the person is a horrible person. It just means you're just not good for each other. They might be good for someone else, I might be good for someone else, and that's totally fine. But you have to acknowledge that there are some people that are in your life for a season. Don't hold on to those seasonal relationships for a lifetime, because they can actually hinder a lot of the opportunities for you. Because I feel like, I'm getting a bit technical, but I feel like it's similar to the law of displacement. It's when you jump into a bathtub, the water shifts up because it has to be replaced. You can't be in the bathtub and the water level stays the same. I feel like it's the same with the relationship. Sometimes you need to let go of certain relationships, even friendship. I'm going to have another topic on talking about toxic friendships. But anyway, coming back to the relationship. Sometimes you need to let go of some relationships in order for you to have enough hands full for the other blessings that are coming your way, the other situations that are coming your way, that are being hindered by that situation. Whenever you start thinking about the relationship and the first thing that comes up to your mind was the negative, that's when you know it was a good decision to break up with a person. A relationship should not drain you. It should not break your spirit down. Like, that is toxic. you need to evaluate like how every time you leave this person, like let's say you spend time, do you leave him or her feeling drained, or do you actually leave feeling better about yourself? And I'm not talking about someone who's going to start feeding you lies so that you can stay in your dysfunctional situation. No, I'm talking about, is this person really helping you grow, or is he actually breaking you down? Because sometimes it's very subtle. You don't realize that you're in a toxic relationship or a toxic situation until you're out of it. You rarely need some time away. It's so I think the times that I really realized that I had to break up, like, this is not good for me, it's when I had a chance to think and clear my mind. Because my battery died, I was getting carried away and I didn't notice it stopped recording. But what I was saying last is, yeah, you need to get away from a situation to gain perspective, because it's so hard to think clearly when there's so many people's opinions, there's so many voices, and also your emotions are mixed up in the mix because you've just seen the person, he's just done something romantic, now you're confused, am I making a mistake? You need to step aside from the situation and start really reflecting, and yeah, you'll gain perspective. Okay, I'm gonna try and wrap this up because I can talk about this topic forever because I'm quite passionate about it, as you can tell. Okay, another thing I wanted to say is, don't let other people's opinion about that person influence your decision. What I mean by that is, every time I was deciding should I break up with this person or not, because the person might have a good reputation, he might be let's just say the person knows how to show their good side, only their good side to the general public. And yeah, I'll be listening to people like, oh, but he's so amazing, he's this nice person. And yes, the person can be nice, but the reality of it, you see the nice and the bad side. You are the person that's going to have to live with this person for the rest of your life. Don't let those people's opinions drown out the truth of what you know, because at the end of the day, the person you're in a relationship is not the people's opinions. It's you that has to be with this person. You know the truth. Also, when you've broken up with someone and they've stopped moving on, that's really good. You be happy for them. But don't start feeling jealous and don't start thinking, oh, it could have been me. Oh, I made a mistake. Girl, you know who that person really is. There's no need for you to be jealous because you know exactly who he is. So you know there's nothing you're missing out on. Something that's really, really healthy once you've broken up with the person. You could do this when you've just broken up with the person, or when you're fully healed. It's up to you, really. I did it at both then and now. But I feel like a really healthy thing to do is to really reflect on what was your contribution to the breakup. Because it's not just that person who did things that led to you guys splitting up. You also had a part to playing that. And I think if you really want to grow as a person and really make sure you yourself don't make those same mistakes, or to just know which things to look out for that can stop you from even getting into a relationship with someone who's not good for you in the first place, you just really need to reflect and remember, okay, what are some of the things that I could have done differently? What part do I have to play in that? I think that's really healthy and it will really help you grow. It's okay, you need to forgive. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to forgive the person who's hurt you for all the things they've done. And also you need to, it's good to forgive. You have to, because not only does it help you grow as a person, but it just helps you heal, you know. And once you have forgiven that person, and make sure it's genuine forgiveness that comes from the heart, because if it's not true forgiveness, it will always creep up in different ways. You don't want to be bitter whenever you think of a person or when a person's name comes up. You don't know, that's not a way to live. But once you have fully forgiven the person from the heart, you need to acknowledge that sometimes forgiveness and reconciliation are two completely different things. Just because you have forgiven someone, it doesn't mean you have to rebuild that relationship. No, you can forgive someone and still know that, you know what, I forgive you, I don't have any hard feelings, but you're still not someone I want in my life. The person may still be toxic, or you just don't want to be in a relationship, like have a friendship with that person, and that's totally okay. Just make sure it comes from a place where it's you've genuinely forgiven the person. And yeah, and I just want to say, guys, like, I know it feels like you're not going to get through it, but trust me, it does get better. You will smile again. You will have days, weeks, months going by without you even thinking about the person. You'll laugh again, you'll love someone again, you will meet someone who's meant for you, and it's not going to be hurtful, and it's going to be amazing. And make sure you don't make the same mistakes twice. But anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I love you guys. Please let me know if you want me to do more topics like this. This wasn't planned. I've just really been wanting to share my experiences with you guys and hopefully help, even if it's just one person, because I remember when I was going through some hard times, lots of videos like these really helped me. So yeah, guys, comment, subscribe, like, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I'll put the link somewhere. But yeah, bye!